Hello guys, it's WazTZK, and today I'm going to be doing a Killing Floor 1 perks tier list. A few months ago I did the Killing Floor 2 tier list video, and I even did one in 2021. However, I realised I haven't actually done a Killing Floor 1 perks tier list. And as Killing Floor 3 is going to be released sometime in the future, I may as well do a Killing Floor 1 tier list. And so yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. So first up on the list we have the Medic. Now I personally, I'm not a fan of the Medic, but he does have some really good features which does make him very good in Killing Floor 1. So there is no health thrower, but you can heal players from like literally any distance, and you can even outrun Zeds and even enraged flesh pounds. Well, somewhat enraged flesh pounds, but you can definitely outrun them better than other perks. Also, the guns are pretty cheap, and the syringe time is much quicker, meaning you can heal yourself much faster, or you can heal other players faster. Also, the Medic has the best body armor in the game, as he does take less damage when hit, whereas with other perks, if you take damage with body armor, yeah, you're going to take a lot more damage. It's even discounted as well, the body armor, which is a bonus. You get it for much cheaper, and it's much stronger, so, you know, it's like, why the hell not? Also, the Medic grenades can heal players and hurt Zeds, which means you can heal players whilst also damaging Zeds, which is a bonus. And the Medic even has larger clips, meaning you can take down more Zeds much easier. However, the only problem which I have with Medic is you have to be on a multiplayer game to get XP. Like, unlike Killing Floor 2's Medic, you can't play it solo and level up. You do have to play online. And if you don't have any friends who play Killing Floor 1, then yeah, you're going to be kind of stuck. I mean, yeah, you can play online with randoms, but they'll probably make fun of you or kick you for being like level 0 because they think you're bad at the game. Another problem I face with the Medic is there's not really much gun variety. Like, yeah, the SMGs are cool and all, but I mean, looking at the list of guns on the trader area, yeah, you don't really get that much variety. But yeah, the Medic I would honestly give overall an A tier. Like, it's good, but you do have to play online to actually earn the XP, and there's not much gun variety. So if you're more of a solo player who likes to play alone, then yeah, you might not use the Medic that often. But if you're one of them players who love to play online, then the Medic for you will be an S tier. Coming up next is the Support, and honestly, the Support Specialist is one of my favourite Killing Floor 1 perks. And although yes, I am level 4 in this footage, it is still one of my favourite perks. Like, this is one of the perks I wish I leveled up sooner, just because it's so damn powerful and just absolutely rips anything to shreds. You can literally kill any Zed with ease. Like, flesh pounds aren't even an issue. All you got to do is shoot them with your AA-12, use like a few grenades and they're down like that easy. Even hordes of Zeds, you can easily rip them to shreds with just an AA-12 or a combat shotgun. The Support Specialist has lots of carrying space, and you can even carry loads of grenades as well. The Support Specialist, it just has some of the strongest guns in the game, such as the AA-12, HSG-1, hunting shotgun, combat shotgun. It's got some of the strongest guns in the game, and it's a good perk to fight the Patriarch with, as you can easily just win every time. Also, not to mention that the welding is much faster due to the support being dedicated to welding. However, the only main problems I have with support is some of the weapons can be expensive. Like, if you're a lower level than 4, then yeah, you're gonna kind of struggle with like buying weapons, as they are a bit expensive. And even if you're level 4 or over, you still kind of have to budget like weapons and ammo, because the ammo is quite expensive. Also, another problem I have with the Support Specialist is it kind of relies a bit too much on welding. the only way to level up the support is by welding doors and getting damage with shotguns. As much as I don't really like welding doors to get XP, I actually kind of like it at the same time because it encourages people to use the welder, unlike Killing Floor 2 support where you just have to get damage with shotguns and level up. Killing Floor 1 support at least encourages the player to use the welder a bit more and think about strategically which door to weld and stuff, and overall it can save the team in the long run. And so my final rating for the support specialist is going to be an S tier. This perk is honestly one of the strongest perks in the game, and it's just an overall blast to use. Can literally kill any Zed with ease, and even the Patriarch. I've never really found much issues with the support specialist, it's just such a good perk. Next up we have the Sharpshooter, which is yet again another brilliant perk in Killing Floor 1. You can easily kill larger Zeds such as Flesh Pounds and Skrakes. The weapons are cheap and affordable, meaning you can afford them on early rounds before you meet Flesh Pounds. The weapons are really good at both long range and short range, so if you can't quite kill that husk who keeps trying to snipe you off, then you can literally just shoot him with a crossbow and you can still get good damage. If you get what I mean, I know that sentence didn't make much sense, but the weapons are really strong and you've got some really good guns to choose from, such as the Desert Eagles, the crossbow, the M14, M99. There's some really good strong choices with Sharpshooter, and you very rarely struggle very much just because the Sharpshooter is so overpowered in Killing Floor 1. There's not very much to pick out about the Sharpshooter in terms of negative things, but if I had to say one negative thing, I would probably say it does require a bit of skill to use. Sharpshooters work best when you headshot Zeds, so you might need to practice headshotting first. Because, yeah, you can shoot them in the chest with a crossbow, but, it's better to shoot them in the head like Flesh Pounds, because then that way you can kill them instantly and they're out the way. But, overall, Sharpshooter is a very strong addition to the team. Sharpshooter is one of the most popular perks which you see in Killing Floor 1, and they make a really good addition to the team. They're basically good for a bit of everything, and honestly this perk deserves an S tier just because it's so damn good. Coming up next is the Commando. If I'm honest, the Commando is kind of average in Killing Floor 1. He's not the worst, but he's also not the strongest, if you know what I mean. The Commando has large clips and magazines, and they can see enemy health and stalkers from long range, and they can even extend Z time. However, I feel like personally I struggle a little bit against Flesh Pounds. Unless you can aim for the head, you have to kind of throw a bunch of grenades and then switch weapons. And it's a bit of a faff, but it can kill a Flesh Pound, I'll give it that. I'll give credit where it's due. It can kill a Flesh Pound, and it does actually do it quite easy. And I think Commando is one of them skilled perks where you have to know what you're doing to actually take down Flesh Pounds. However, one issue I have with Commando is not very much gun variety. I've noticed most of the guns you get with Commando are DLC reskins. You've got camo skins and golden weapon skins. Also, most of the weapons are DLC. And once you take away all of that, you don't really get very many weapons to choose from when you take all of the DLC weapons away. However, the Commando is really strong overall. It's good at clearing hordes of Zeds and even taking down larger Zeds. However, in my opinion, it's not the strongest at killing larger Zeds like Flesh Pounds, but it does get the job done. Another thing I like about the Commando is you can kill Skrakes very easily, as bullets are their weakness. So overall, I would honestly give Commando a A tier. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad perk at all. It's just I much prefer perks like Support and Sharpshooter, ones which can just easily one-shot a Flesh Pound. Next up, we have the Berserker, and this might be where things get a little bit controversial, but hear me out. I'm not a big fan of Killing Floor 1's Berserker. Like, yeah, you can outrun Zeds and you can take less damage from bloats, and, you know, you've got loads of perks with Berserker. Like, the Zeds can't grab you, and you've got somewhat more resistance to damage than most perks. You can also extend Z time, and there is quite a bit of weapon variety. However, I'm just not really a fan of Berserker in Killing Floor 1. I mean, personally, in my opinion, it struggles a bit against Flesh Pounds. Like, unless you've got an alternative off-perk weapon like Flare Revolvers, yeah, you're kind of going to struggle against Flesh Pounds. Unless you're really good at kiting and dodging attacks. Yeah, it's not really very good for Flesh Pounds. And it's one of them perks which require a bit of skill to use. Like, you do have to be good at kiting and dodging attacks, like I said. And you do tend to take the most damage out of all the perks because you're literally up close and personal with Zeds. But you are resistant to most things like bloat bile and Z damage, so I'll give it that. One big issue I have with Killing Floor 1's Berserker is you can't actually parry attacks or block them like Killing Floor 2's Berserker. If a Flesh Pound is enraged and running at you, you can't just pull out your knife and block it. You do kind of have to maneuver around the Flesh Pound and kind of dodge his attacks whilst also trying to inflict damage on him. It's like, I see where people are coming from when they say the Berserker is a strong, solid perk. However, in my opinion, I'm more of a ranged guy more than a up close and personal. As for me, that's more of a risk, in my opinion. So overall, I would honestly give this perk a B tier. But I can also see why people like the perk at the same time. However, for me, the Berserker is just not my cup of tea. Coming up next is the Firebug, and the Firebug is really good for just clearing hordes of Zeds. And the weapons are really cheap and affordable, and you do get loads of ammo with the flamethrower, which, speaking of, you can actually hit Zeds from long range with the flamethrower, meaning you don't have to get up close and personal. However, Firebug, it does suffer from a few issues. The Firebug isn't really the strongest against Flesh Pounds. Like, you are going to struggle against Flesh Pounds. Like, for example, in my gameplay footage, I'm playing on hard difficulty, and I'm still struggling against Zeds. Like, I'm using the flare guns, but if you notice, I actually have to reload and fire again just to actually kill the Flesh Pound. And unless you've got, like, a Sharpshooter or support next to you, then, yeah, you do kind of have to run away to your team and get someone else to kill the Flesh Pound for you. Because, I mean, yeah, it's good for clearing hordes of Zeds, but when it comes to the larger Zeds, this is where the Firebug falls off. Also, some of the weapons are quite weak, in my opinion. Unless you pay the DLC to get the flare guns, then, in my opinion, you kind of struggle against large Zeds. Like, don't get me wrong, the trench gun and the horse cannon are strong and all, but to take down a Flesh Pound, yeah, I'd much prefer flare guns, but if you can't afford the DLC, then you can use those perk weapons. It is overall a good horde clearing perk, and as much as I like Firebug, I'm going to have to give it a B tier. It's not the strongest against Flesh Pounds. It does okay damage against Scrakes and stuff. But on Flesh Pounds, yeah, you might want to get your Sharpshooter buddy to help you out. And finally, last but not least, we have the Demolitionist. And honestly, the Demolitionist is one of the strongest perks in Killing Floor 1. You can easily take down larger Zeds such as Flesh Pound, Scrakes with the M32 grenade launcher or the Law. However, Scrakes do have a little bit more resistance to explosives, so it does take a little bit more ammo to actually take down a Scrake. However, it is a strong overall perk, and you can easily clear out hordes with explosives. The demo can carry loads of grenades, loads of pipe bombs. Also, the demo has discount on pipe bombs, and they can easily kill the Patriarch due to them being able to afford loads of pipe bombs. And overall, the demo just has like the strongest weapons in the game, like I said before. However, it does have a few issues, such as projectiles which don't go off at short range. I understand why they don't explode at close range, because you do injure yourself, but when you've got an enraged flesh pound at close range, yeah, you're kind of screwed for the demo, because your weapons only explode at a certain range, and if you've got a flesh pounder up against your face, then yeah, you might want to run away. And another problem I have with the demo is you can injure yourself with splash damage from explosives, which means you do have to be careful where you shoot and how far away you are from the explosive. But overall, the demo is a very strong perk and really does serve a great addition to the team. The demo can be used to easily win Patriarch rounds and even take down larger Zeds with ease. And overall, I would give the demo an S tier, just because it's just such a good all-round perk. It's good for every occasion. But anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to end the video here. This is my final Killing Floor 1 perks tier list. I might do this again in the future, I don't know. I'm not too sure about Berserker actually. I might move it up to A tier, but at the same time I'm not a big fan of Killing Floor 1's Berserker, although you do get some good bonuses, and so as much as I'd like to put it in A tier, it's just not a perk I would use very often. But yeah, that is literally the Killing Floor 1 perks tier list. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.